While filming the Milky Way above, YouTuber Homestead How captured an unidentified flying object above his house. Let's take a look.
Okay, I'll just show it on screen. Here's number one. Kitty, watch.
You need to clean your screen.
Yeah, I do.
Keep going.
What is that? I swear to not edit that. This photo isn't edited at all.
That does look like an unidentified flying object to me. They crop it to zero in.
If nothing else, this is a cool shot. You can see the house and the stars. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, what the heck? It looks like there's little lights. There's little lights.
I'll show this on the screen too. Here, I'm gonna take a screenshot.
A second shot is even clearer, and YouTube commenters are blown away by it.
That's a helicopter?
That's what it
Is that a helicopter?
It's like little seeds.
What? Like, look, you can see stars behind it. If this was a helicopter, wouldn't there be like a thing here and this, and then a propeller?
And then a person.
And
This camera zooms in far, and you can see
a window here.
I agree with Snakebite. That's one of the clearest unidentified flying object pics I've ever seen. In my opinion, it couldn't be anything but an unidentified flying object. This dashcam footage was taken on a busy road somewhere in India. Nothing looks out of the ordinary until a tiny object performs a bizarre aerial maneuver while hovering above the road. The saucer-shaped object appears to somehow stop and change directions mid-flight. Somehow, none of the oncoming motorists in the other lane seem to notice, which I think is odd, but maybe it all happened too fast for them to see. If not, then I think this dashcam video might be a fake, but I'm curious to hear your opinion. YouTube channel KBC Cazadores de Fantasmas investigated the site of a reported unidentified flying object landing.
Tá vindo a mata, João. Uau. Não, não é bicho não. Nunca vi bicho não, os barulhos não.
They come across a burning ember. Was someone recently here? Shortly after, they see something watching them.
Tá lá agora. Tá lá, velho. Mano, tem alguma coisa ali. Irmão, tô vendo. Não, mas pera aí, mano. Ela tá focando. Pedro. João, é um olho, João.
They quickly grow frightened.
Pedro, olha ali pra baixo, Pedro. Cadê a gente? Correu pra cá. Viu pra baixo, mano. Mano, tá mudando de forma, mano.
They find nothing there, but as they're about to call it a day, they hear something again.
Olha o que é isso?
And then they leave us to guess what's next. I think they were being stalked, but I don't think their stalker was human. We'll have to tune into the next episode to find out. If you saw this on the horizon, you may think some serious stuff is going down. Posted to the Very Spooky Video subreddit by RavenTexX, the Redditor writes, "Is this recent? Looks real." The footage shows a dark and stormy scene with heavy clouds on the horizon, and in their midst a blinding beam of light. The light brightens and recedes more, but stays in the sky for quite some time before zapping out, leaving the night in total and utter darkness. While life forms outside of this planet could very well exist, some Redditors have other explanations. Greg the Chief writes, "It could be a transformer. I worked as an electrician the past few years. I never saw something that size, but electric energy has more power than most people think. Since I'm not an electrician, I wouldn't know for sure, but that sounds like a pretty rational explanation." Is that a hula hoop? Posted to TikTok by Camilo Rodriguez, a dark ring looks like it's burnt into the sky above. The mysterious video was captured in Colombia on March 6, 2022. After searching for some explanation, I couldn't find any for this specific ring, but I have found that it's not unique. One appeared over Pakistan in 2020 and is thought to have been caused by a small combustion blast through a circular structure. Again, one in Britain in 2014. This was traced back to a fireworks test. And finally, over Chicago in 2012, this one traced to the rupture of an electrical transformer. So while this may look like an ominous vortex to misery, I guess it's actually an ominous vortex of mystery. What are these bright lights in the sky? The lights start to appear one by one.
On a deux autres encore de nouvelles. Qu'est-ce que ça va faire? On ne sait pas. Ils sont plus proches, là.
C'est beaucoup plus à gauche. Troisième.
Trois. Il y en a trois. Tiens, regarde, c'est pas moi qui les invente. Quatre.
C'est en formation, ça.
There's no information attached to this video about where it was filmed, but the clip continues for a minute and a half without the lights changing much in position. They do start to shift a little toward the end though.
Je peux pas dire, là. Moi, je peux pas les grandir plus que ça, là. Mais moi, je sais que ça se rapproche parce que les lumières sont plus... on voit pas sur la vidéo, là. Mais les lumières sont plus... c'est ça, hein?
Ça bouge pas, loin, avec les vents dehors.
Ouais, ça bouge pas, rien.
Are these lights on singular aircrafts, or are they arranged on one larger aircraft? They appear to me to be individual aircrafts flying in formation, or rather hovering, but apart from unidentified flying objects, I have no clue what they might be. Do you? Captured in Wentzville, Missouri in late September 2022, Redditor I Use This For Work 420 posted this intriguing unidentified flying object footage. The multicolored light appears like a glowing ray.
What the is that?
As the crowd watches, it streaks across the sky and disappears. You can even see some in the audience pointing in the air, tracing the light as it shoots off. While the crowd's reaction seems genuine, others point out that no one else has their phones out recording, which in this day and age seems unlikely. Others in the comments are thinking this is a spotlight or CGI put in later after the reaction video was staged. I tend to think this was staged too, more due to the fact that no one else is recording than due to the light itself. What do you think is going on here? Buckle your seatbelts. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit. This video is apparently forbidden in most countries, and it's clear why. The footage shows two lit up objects in the sky. They're both moving slightly, with one of them moving a bit faster than the other and in different directions. The lights blink as the unidentified flying device on the bottom moves up towards the one above it. Suddenly they fuse and it sends a shockwave through the sky like a bolt of lightning. What in the heck just happened here?
The telescope. The box down.
The uploader stumbled across the freaky forbidden video in the summer of 2018. Some think it's most likely a clip from an indie movie. Redditor The Lovely Raven 313 points out, if this actually happened, the media would be on it. Many agree with this sentiment, while some are willing to suspend their disbelief. When asked what it is, the Redditor admits he doesn't know. That's why I'm posting this, to try and solve the mystery, he writes. Can you solve the mystery? I'm at a loss here. These strange lights have been flooding around in the desert for years with no reasonable explanation.
Now here we are in the morning, barely out on the Marfa city limits. And we're seeing them out there, so Pete and I we're having a great Marfa lights trip.
But floating is not all they can do. These lights are also known to change sizes, split apart, merge, and disappear at random. Sometimes they even seem to land on the ground and travel at high rates of speed, which makes some people suspect that they are UFOs. I personally have no idea what these lights could be, but maybe we can all figure it out together. Some people say that it's a natural phenomenon that's caused by a buildup of electricity. However, I don't see any obvious weather disturbances in any of these videos.
That gives me call too.
Look at that.
Oh my god.
Check it out.
Wow.
I got it.
During a thunderstorm over Barcelona, an unidentified flying object popped in for a visit. Shared by Redditor Little Space Moshi, this large unidentified flying object left its blinkers on. The unidentified flying object appears unmoved by the lightning. The large saucer just hovers there, leaving many concerned, but don't be alarmed. While it may be fake, I think that a CGI artist should earn an Oscar for this one. Is this unidentified flying object real or fake? YouTuber YBNormal shares this video of a daytime sighting in an unknown location. This man spotted the unidentified flying object on the tree line and got his camera out to capture it. It disappears for a while behind some trees before making a resurgence.
I mean, just look at those movements. It just doesn't look like a conventional craft to me. This is crazy.
It wobbles from one side to the other. A closer slow motion view captures this movement more precisely. A couple of things gives this away as CGI for me. The absolutely motionless Steadicam, when at the beginning the cameraman sounds out of breath from having rushed out to retrieve his camera, so he would assumingly be holding it by hand.
Okay.
And a second issue is the sound of a breeze while the trees are completely stationary.
Watching this, I don't know what it is. I thought it was a plane at first, maybe a helicopter. I've been watching this thing hover.
Still, a good effort overall. What do you think is going on here? Meteors keep flying over Japan, and they keep getting weirder each time. This relatively normal one, spotted in February of 2013, looks to be on a downward course until it burns up in the atmosphere at the last second. Then just 1 year later, another one manages to get even closer, this time piercing a cloud. The next time you gaze up into the serene night sky, you might experience a feeling of panic instead of peace. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by After Performance 2. The Redditor explains that these strange lights were seen in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina last year on July 19th. The lights were grouped in threes, and according to the Redditor, some disappeared before she could capture them on video. The video shows a trio of lights floating overhead in the sky, and a moment later, another trio closer to the horizon off in the distance. The sets of lights don't float in strict formation, but seem to each be wavering at their own pace. They then flicker and disappear. Redditor Professional Truck 3 suggests that these were paper lanterns lit and then launched from the beach, but the 70s kids negates that, saying if these were lanterns, they'd drift apart. Well, some say the wind is obviously taking the lanterns in the same direction. After Performance 2 theorizes that they're all going to the same destination. Another Redditor, Buster Blevins, chimes in proposing that this is not necessarily a unique occurrence. He wrote, "Last Friday, a bunch of people saw something very similar to this in northern Wisconsin. The lights would appear in groups of 3, and it was as if there was a pattern that looked like the light was traveling in a circle around something. Any other theories as to what these strange lights could be?" This recent video of an unidentified flying device was sighted in New Mexico. It looks like a disc-shaped object until one of the lights breaks away. Then they all briefly flicker out before lighting back up in a new formation. Is this some kind of special military flare exercise or what? I think I'm gonna go with what, and by what, I mean extraterrestrial life. This footage captured some bizarre unidentified flying objects over Mexico City in May of 2009. Let's take a look.
Mira, ahora vamos a ver las mismas imágenes, Pedro, pero en cámara lenta. Mira, ahí podemos ver algo que tú no viste en primera instancia. Decenas de esferas que van saliendo en ambas direcciones.
The orderly linear lights disperse. From there, things get chaotic.
El objeto cómo da de vueltas. Luego, estas cómo llegan a darle, mira, aquí en cámara lenta las vemos. Caramba, hombre. Una de ellas, ve, se le da la vuelta completa y se va, ¿no? Evidentemente que es un...
Still, they seem to be traveling in sync. A closer look shows they're blazing. Then they get lost in the clouds.
Salen esas cantidades de esferas. No, la verdad, ya es otra cuestión, ¿no? Ya dices, caray, esto sí me dejó también así como a ti impactado, ¿no?
Mira, lo más extraordinario para mí, bueno, tuviste suerte al grabar.
Soon they're back in an orderly line again.
Te bajas del camión, lo sigues, lo tomas. Mira nada más. Sí. Mira qué imágenes, caramba. Y es en ambas direcciones. Entonces nadie puede decir que es un racimo de globos que se va deshaciendo. Salen en ambas direcciones.
Well, some say this is an optical illusion. Others call it the best UFO evidence they've ever seen. I also think it's quite compelling. It looks like a mothership hatching smaller aircraft. This video was recently taken in Malaysia on a cell phone. Whereas UFO footage is blurry and far away, there's no mistaking what this object is supposed to be in this video. The UFO passes over a house and then takes off in the distance. A short while later, this other footage was taken. The UFO turns sideways and appears to be observing them through a bright white light in the center. It regards them for a moment longer and then the video ends. Overall, it's hard to say if this is a fake video or genuine UFO activity. Most of the comments in the video tend to favor that this really happened. Predator combat drone is conducting a routine patrol when suddenly something huge and fast enters its airspace. What appears to be some kind of unidentified flying object streaks by the drone. In a gigantic burst of white light, the drone turns around to scan the area, but whatever zoomed past is now long gone. Unfortunately, no further footage was recovered. I don't know if the lack of information surrounding this video is a sign that it's fake, or it means the military simply isn't saying anything. The unidentified flying object could be CGI, but outside of that possibility, what you are watching could very well be our first contact with very technologically advanced extraterrestrials. This Randonautica adventure is bound to lead to terror. YouTube team Terror Al Extremo is led to random coordinates, and it seems they are not alone. A voice quietly murmurs hello. Is someone following them? At another set of coordinates, it appears what's following them may be extraterrestrials.
Sí, sí, sí.
What was that light? Launching into the sky? An unidentified flying object? Or could there be some other logical explanation? The guys see another strange light in the darkness ahead.
No, es que no sabemos qué tan profundo esté. Ahí, mira.
¿No Martian viste?
No. Oye, ¿es cierto ese que está pasando?
¿Eso qué es? ¿Lo tienes en la cámara?
Pues estoy grabando hacia allá.
But I feel this one could simply be a remote house or a station on a hill. As for the other mysterious light and the quiet hello, I'm not so sure. What is this blue sphere spinning in the sky? Shared by YouTuber Arte Morbid, this video was captured by Juanito Juan in Valle Hermoso, Mexico. The footage was taken at around 2:30 in the morning. Up close, the unidentified flying object looks like this.
For you. When?
It was drifting over this man's house for around 30 minutes before it vanished. It certainly doesn't look like anything identifiable to me, but is it extraterrestrial? I do think the increased activity in this area might indicate something mysterious is going on. This video shows evidence of the terrifying unknown, as strange lights were captured in the Tokyo sky on June 26, 2020. Some suggest the lights are not those of unidentified flying devices, but rather of Starlink, SpaceX's satellite constellation, which is being built with the aim to provide nearly worldwide internet access by 2022. These low Earth orbit satellites are mass-produced and work with ground transceivers. Could that be nothing but a project by Elon Musk? Others suggest it's simply air traffic approaching the airport. Redditor Bacon for Life writes, "Well, it is spooky when there's a bit of a traffic jam to come into the airport. Aircraft turn their landing lights on quite high and far out so that it's easy for the tower to identify each of them. Still a good spooky video though. Do you agree with these assertions? Or is this just another thing they don't want us to see?" In March of 2019, the sky opened up over the city of Al Ain in the UAE, scaring everyone within a 10-mile radius. Posted by Mr. Potek in November of 2019. This footage was originally posted to Twitter by Ibrahim Al-Jarwan, reported to be an astronomer and meteorologist by the Daily Mail. The footage of the strange whirlpool in the sky was captured while driving. The video went viral, as many were left mystified about what it could be. Are we really looking at a portal to another world? If so, what world are we entering? I just wish we had more footage of this event. It would help us solve this mystery once and for all. These two motorists are driving around in the UK when one of them looks up in the sky and pulls over. They stare at the clouds for about 15 seconds and nothing happens. Then, just when they are about to give up, an unknown object appears immediately in front of them. It drifts into a cloud and some kind of electric reaction happens. Lightning goes off and then a weird semi-transparent rectangular object floats to the ground. The video is very low quality, so either this was taken a long time ago with a bad camera, or else it was probably edited. Either way, I must find out more about what was in that sky. You don't need to see a broom to know this figure is a witch. TikToker The Void 402 shares footage of a levitating witch in the middle of a deserted place. There isn't any information with this video, so I'm not sure where this was captured or by whom. But the closer the vehicle gets to the figure, the harder it is to deny that it's a witch. I'd be driving fast and far away before they end up cursed. So there's this really weird video of some strange lights in the sky that needs a closer analysis.
How many were there? 30?
30. And then they just disappear. Look, here comes more.
Basically, this guy has caught mysterious things on camera floating over where he lives in Monterrey, Louisiana. His confused reaction soon spreads to other houses as more people react to the unusual lights above.
There's like 30 of them.
They keep coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, this is the real deal.
So let's get this straight. He sees almost 30 odd lights and another neighbor verifies that they've seen them for days on end, seemingly from nowhere.
I saw those the other day. Well, that I forgot about it.
What they've caught on camera cannot be explained by them, so they turn to the YouTube community for help. I think I can help solve the mystery on this one.
Those aren't Japanese lanterns, are they? Are they? No, because they're all going the same. It's like a little paper balloon, and you put the wick in it, and it lifts it up, and then... Maybe it is.
He means a Chinese lantern. I looked it up, and the Lantern Festival is celebrated on the same day this video was made, so hopefully this settles other videos of mysterious lights in the sky caught on this specific day once and for all. Plane is heading to Jamaica when a much smaller object zooms by at an equal rate of speed, if not faster. It's hard to tell what this fast-moving sighting could possibly be, but I doubt it's another plane off in the distance, because air control makes sure that the planes always fly far away from each other, and usually at different altitudes. Whatever this is, if it had made contact with the plane while traveling at such a high rate of speed, I'm almost positive no one would have survived. Give me your best guess as to what you think this was. I will say that I have found other similar videos taken by YouTubers flying over Jamaica, so maybe there is something strange, mysterious, and unsolved about the airspace over that region in general. No. A group of friends loudly proclaim their disbelief as a slow-moving object flies across Los Angeles.
Hey, it's from a different dimension.
It's from a different dimension, one of them jokes, but according to the uploader's own words, they felt a strange energy overwhelm them as the object passed overhead. The object is really large to be that size. From such a far distance away, it's too big to be a commercial airliner, not to mention perfectly round and solid black. They are able to track it for over 2 minutes as it grows smaller on the horizon, and just before they can no longer see a thing, it blinks out of existence in a mysterious flash of light. The odd sighting in the sky occurred on October 4th of 2020 and is yet to be properly explained. The uploader says this was from another world, and it looks like he might be right. An unidentified flying object was caught on camera during a lightning storm in Miami, Florida. Redditor Bacon Tire shares the video, originally posted to TikTok by the Hall family 2018.
Dude, over here, come here. Look right above the trees. Come here, Fiona. Right above the trees. What? Dude, what is that? That is not a plane either. It's not.
At first it appears that the unidentified flying object is not moving, but then it does this.
Oh, dude. Did you see how fast it just went? Dude, yeah, did you see how fast that thing just went? That is a UFO. Dude, where did it go?
Is this an extraterrestrial spacecraft waiting out the storm? Some believe that its sudden disappearance is due to cloaking. Others are skeptical of the footage, saying the acting is too poor to be believed.
Dude, what is that? That is not a plane either. It's not moving. Oh my gosh, dude. Me neither.
Is this credible, or is this a clickbait and switch? I'm leaning towards staged on this one, but I want to believe. A YouTuber named Jay Katera lives outside of an Air Force base somewhere in the southeast Michigan. He has been seeing some strange things in the sky lately, so he decides to point his security camera straight up in live stream. Not too long after, he captures this strange sighting. Jay Katera isn't sure if this is an alien UFO, a secret government project, or some sort of paranormal orb, but he is sure that it was scanning the ground as if it was looking for something. Let me know if you have a reasonable explanation for this, or if you've seen anything that looks similar, especially if you live in the same state as the cameraman. What is this thing drifting in the sky over Poland? This mysterious video was posted in a private Polish Facebook group and shared to the UFO subreddit by Redditor Revolutionary Kale 46. Let's watch. It floats undisturbed over the field, even peaceful in its descent. Unfortunately, the clip ends there, and we don't see if or where it lands. Some Redditors think it's a Mondo Shawin ship looking after the elements. That actually looks pretty spot on to me. It's got my vote. Lights over Reno had some people up in arms, but there may be a logical explanation. Redditor Practical Book 3293 shares the scary footage of the incident.
Call your mom and dad. What is that?
While most would likely be as startled as the guy filming, don't worry, it's probably not extraterrestrials.
It's stopping to shine.
If you take a look at the still image of Starlink, you can see the resemblance. This is the likely explanation to me. Or is it a fleet of extraterrestrial, unidentified flying objects mimicking Starlink to incept our world? Whatever you choose to believe. It's not often you see a shooting star fly skyward. Redditor DJ Half shares this video captured in Miami, writing, "Shooting stars don't go up."
Only it came outside. The death. Goodbye. And the death. They're quite now. That is sweet.
Some of these flares don't look like shooting stars to me, but I'm not sure what they could be. Of course, commenters have some theories.
Outside. The death. Or I'm pissed. They're quite now. That is springing.
Well, these are great guesses. A now deleted Reddit account suggests that it could be caused by spinning spotlights from the Miami Heat versus Toronto Raptors game that happened on that day, reflected off low cloud cover. But the Redditor says this was taken from a traffic cam at around 4 or 5 a.m. at a distance about 5 miles away from that stadium. So, back to the drawing board on this one. I guess I'll go with upside down shooting stars. This creepy video takes viewers on an adventure around the world through Google Earth, and what we discover is not of this world. Published by Kanon Mujik, the journey begins with a zoom toward Japan. Landing on the streets of an unknown city, Google Earth pans skyward between two buildings and spies this thing floating above. It looks like a squid or octopus. The dark figure's details are difficult to make out, but it has two thin limbs, a short abdomen, and a football-shaped head. What is this thing? Is it an extraterrestrial? Is it some creepy kite? Or is it the ocean in the sky? A boy records the scenic view outside of his window, as passengers often do. When he looks up to record an oncoming plane, he accidentally picks up a fast-moving disc-like object traveling in the opposite direction. Looking at it frame by frame, the small flat rectangle is abnormal and does not change shape or gain detail as it moves across the screen. It's definitely not wildlife, and it's too small to be a drone, not to mention up way too high. So what could it be, aside from the possible UFO? Others have pointed out that the trail left behind by the other plane looks odd as well. I think it looks like normal vapor trails created by engine exhaust, but I could be wrong. Does it look suspicious to you? And do you think these two events, the UFO and the other plane, could somehow be related?
What is that, dude?
A single strange light in the sky has a YouTuber named Jesse Tablebeast looking up with curiosity and horror.
Yeah, it's definitely flying, whatever it is.
He and his friend decide to drive towards this strange blinking light and investigate what it could be. This still image taken at 4 minutes and 58 seconds gives us a better look at it. A disc-like object floating in the air. There's an intense light coming from the bottom, and also a small circular dome on top. They don't know what it is, and neither does anyone else. A minute later, they are at the source of the light, which is much larger now, but still just as unexplained. They think the light is coming from a nearby power plant, but it's too dark and rainy to tell, so they go home without knowing for certain. This light, while bizarre, might be from a busted power generator, but if that were the case, then you'd think the light would be low to the ground and constant. The light is high in the air. Tell me what you think it is. This extreme close-up of the moon captures an unknown object floating at what appears to be mere meters over the celestial body. Alexi_N shares this mysterious footage with the YouTube community. Can you guess what it is? In fact, it looks like something drifts down toward the moon from the floating object. Folks in the comments have some wild theories. Are extraterrestrials refueling on the moon, as some suggest? It's possible, but I think it could also be the International Space Station. Although the ISS is only 250 miles from the Earth, while the moon is 230,000 miles. In photographs, the ISS often looks much closer to the moon than it actually is. But even if it is the ISS, that doesn't really explain the object that appears to be traveling toward the moon from it. Additionally, the uploader has CGI videos on their channel. This one isn't marked as such, but there is still the possibility this is special effects. Share what you think in the comments. I'm torn on this one. Multiple cameras capture a UFO hovering over Jerusalem in 2011. The small moving ball of light glides over the building tops for a while, and then does a dazzling aerial maneuver that no human aircraft could ever possibly replicate.
Yo, Rod!
I would think this is CGI, but the same event was reportedly witnessed by numerous people who don't know each other. In this second video, you can see the ball of light is over the same domed building as the before, and abruptly flies straight up. I will admit that the UFO in the first video looks a little different than the UFO in the second video, but I think the first video was recorded with a digital camera, and the second was recorded with a cell phone from almost a decade ago, so that would explain the visual discrepancies. Unidentified flying device sightings, ranging from Manhattan to Brazil, is enough to make anyone at least a little nervous. A YouTuber named Lazara Black saw this bright soundless blip moving fast across a Miami night sky on March 19th, 2020. It pauses in midair and is soon joined by another ball of light that moves effortlessly and without noise. Whatever these are, they aren't a normal aircraft, and they certainly aren't slow falling flares. A second Miami YouTuber named James Black confirms this sighting with a second video, also uploaded on March 19th, 2020. The glowing orb is too big to be a drone and moves so quietly that you can hear the nighttime crickets chirping away. Listen. About a week later, this Manhattan sighting was uploaded by YouTuber Plumber33789 Peebles. What looks like a lightning storm produces no visible bolts, and then the same familiar lights rise together in a triangular pattern. All of them fly out of sight, but this final one simply disappears into the clouds, so I'm guessing that's what the rest did as well. Did we just witness a fleet of unidentified flying devices taking off? I think so. And I've saved the weirdest video for last. This was taken on March 13th by a YouTuber in Brazil named Frederico Mueller, who has been seeing these strange lights for months now. This video proves that they are abnormally bright, perhaps even radioactively so, to the degree that they burn bright white even when behind a cloud in broad daylight. And his dogs are going crazy too, the kind of restless barking when danger is approaching. Not quite here yet, but soon. A YouTuber named Roy Flores has a strange encounter over the skies of New Jersey when he sees a mysterious aircraft hovering near the overpass he's driving on.
Look, the whole street is stopped. There's a flying spaceship.
And he's not the only one who sees it. Dozens of other cars have pulled over and people are getting out to take video of this strange phenomenon with their cameras, each wondering if this is the moment we finally made contact. A Goodyear blimp is the official explanation for this scary event, but I have serious doubts. I mean, you'd think all these people would know the difference between a blimp, which we've all seen, and something truly bizarre instead. A lot of people are saying this is a cover story for the strange sighting in the sky. Well, I think this design looks way too creepy to be some kind of company blimp. Have you ever watched a clip that terrified you so much that you just had to share it with a friend? That's definitely the case for this video, posted to YouTube by Mysterious Things in February of 2020. The footage purports to show an unknown flying object flying in broad daylight above Quebec City. From far away, the figure in the sky appears to be dressed in white and launching upward. Upon closer, unfocused and wavering inspection, the unknown flying object does indeed look like a human figure dressed in white. At times its clothing shines luminescent, while the figure spins, launching into the sky. When the camera gets in closer and more focused, the figure looks even more dramatic. It appears to be on fire. If that's not in fact Iron Man, as YouTuber Graham Sherwood suggests in the comments, perhaps it could be a meteor headed towards Earth, while other commenters say this is impressive and looks legit. YouTuber Damien Torres is more skeptical, suggesting it looks like silver helium balloons with the sun reflecting off of it. What do you think? Is this just a mistaken balloon, or do you think this unknown flying object is worthy of some supernatural speculation? Whatever it is, it's terrifying. This intriguing unidentified flying object sighting was captured on a windy night in Spain in 2009. A full moon is looming overhead. Watch to the left of it.
You know, it's kind of funny. You see it like a little shadow over there on the left of the side of there, and around there. You see that? I don't know. I really can't tell.
A strange light formation appears. At first, the lights are in disarray.
Wait a minute. Look at holy shit, look at that. Look at the shape. Oh my god. Wow, that's cool. What's that? Yeah. Look at it. It's covered.
But then they form a triangle.
They look at people see. Wow, that's. Wow. It's a binding from the reason that.
Many in the comments are astonished and are wondering if this is for real. What do you think? A TikTok user named Caesar in MP is piloting a plane when he sees an oddly terrifying unknown flying object skimming the clouds. Just below, the tiny circular object appears to have no propellers and emits no exhaust. It looks like it's moving extremely fast, but keep in mind Caesar is passing it in his own aircraft, so its exact speed is unknown. A regular civilian drone could not move at this rate of speed, and its design looks more complex than a regular drone. So what do you think? Secret project? Or something from someplace much farther away than Earth? This unidentified flying object was captured at a caravan site in Thirsk, Yorkshire by Redditor C. Holly Molly. The Redditor notes that at least 7 people witnessed it, and it didn't make any noise. The weather was also normal and dry. The video goes on for 1.5 minutes. Some in the comments call this super interesting, while others say it might be planes or ball lightning. One Redditor shares some helpful observations. What do you think? Are these lights mounted on an invisible, unidentified flying object? I have no idea what else this could be, so I'll confirm that this is the mothership. What is this mysterious object in the sky? YouTuber Tiffany Campbell shares this footage of an object she says was falling to Earth.
Is that a plane going down?
I don't think it's a plane.
Well, that's cool. What is that, James?
I can't even tell you, but I don't know.
Can Joey see it? Joey, look through my phone.
It's hard to tell what this object is. It doesn't appear to be falling very quickly, but that may just be an optical illusion. The streak trailing behind it suggests it's traveling at significant speed, but this could be a contrail from a plane.
Is that a plane going down?
I don't think it's a plane.
Well, that's cool. What is that, James?
I can't even tell you, but I don't know.
Can Joey see?
Is this object even falling at all? It could just appear that way due to the perspective at which it was captured. I think it could just be a plane with a contrail, but it could also be a meteorite or some other unidentified flying object falling from the sky. What do you think? Mysterious, unexplained lights were recently sighted over Brazil, just north of Rio de Janeiro. The diagonal formation of strange lights stretches into the night sky and blinks in and out of sight. It's not a constellation because there are no stars in the sky. Just these strange, unexplained lights that slowly move to the right and glow a fierce red when the camera zooms in. As the camera moves across the city to show there are no stars, they see more strange lights in the sky. These ones closer to Earth, a large column of lights at 56 seconds that should not be there at all. It looks like it could be a building, but according to them it's not. More lights seem to drop and lower to the ground, but it's too far away to tell. When he zooms out, he is surprised to find most of the skylights are already gone. This happened on June 24th of 2020, and if you're wondering why I was never reported on the news, maybe it's because we were never supposed to find out. This footage is believed to have been shot somewhere in France. It starts out with a UFO sitting on the hillside that quickly flies away. The next shot shows it hovering in the air, and then we are shown this footage of what appears to be a group of aliens conversing on the ground. It looks like they are talking about whatever it is aliens talk about as they casually observe their surroundings. Maybe they were talking about technical difficulties with their ship, or else they were simply stretching their legs between planets. It doesn't look like they are aware that they are being recorded. The UFO again takes off and disappears in a beam of light. These two unidentified flying object sightings are eerily similar. Posted on Reddit by GamersGen. These two sightings from Miami and Beijing are comparative. The first appeared in Beijing on February 3rd, 1995. The unidentified flying object hovers as an illuminated yellow disc in the evening sky. After a while, it starts to glide slowly overhead. GamersGen posts a second video in the comments, one which looks similar to the first but was captured on October 20th, 1995. This unidentified flying object was spotted along a freeway. The driver pulled over to capture it hovering near an apartment complex and then over Miami Airport. GamersGen suggests that today, unidentified flying objects aren't seen as often for a reason. His theory? They have become more cautious and further said, they seem to be extremely aware of us observing them, and above all, they don't want to be compromised. What do you think? It makes sense to me, and these two sightings are certainly quite similar. This individual sees strange sightings in the sky, creepy stuff hidden in front of our eyes as she puts it. It would be easy to dismiss her notions as outlandish, except for one thing, she can back up her claims. You see, Sheila has caught weird things on camera. She zooms into the trees to find a creepy pale face with round black eyes staring back at her from the treetops. This could be a balloon or something else stuck in the tree, but it's far from the only bizarre thing she's caught on camera near her house. A short time later, she finds this odd light not too far from where she saw the face. Two other lights are spotted in the sky in an odd formation that soon blinks away. Together they do seem to, once connected, possibly form the outer perimeter of a much larger disc-like object. What are these strange silent objects that glow and grow? The unexplained lights do not look like a helicopter and have no trail of a spotlight, so what could they be? This giant sky disturbance over Japan was captured on multiple cameras in 2013, so there's little doubt that it is real. The question then becomes not if this happened, but rather what caused it. I think that this was most likely a comet, but others claim this is clearly a failed Russian rocket launch or even a UFO. Watch this part and you can see how the comet becomes very bright as it hits Earth's atmosphere, and then fizzles out quickly. At the same time, I can definitely see how people would think this was a UFO blasting into deep space, or a rocket disintegrating. It does seem to kind of disappear without warning, so let me know which of these three possibilities you think it was. Credited to Instagram account it's SoSoG. These strange lights have me questioning everything. The dull lights move sporadically across the sky, darting all over with no rhyme or reason. They then disappear altogether in the clouds. Being that this was filmed in Calgary, I think these might be spotlights from the Calgary Stampede, an annual rodeo that takes place in July. Then again, maybe it's what Instagrammer Christian Mukele suggests in the comments, saying our alien masters are about to reveal themselves. Okay then, we're waiting. This may be the best unidentified flying object footage ever captured on camera, at least according to Redditor FL1P1. The Redditor writes that pilot Jorge Ortega caught this well up in the air. Judge for yourself. What in the heck was that? Some in the comments think this is a balloon, others think it's an unknown extraterrestrial aircraft. Like many are saying, I think it could be a stationary balloon that appears to be moving due to the aircraft moving, but I don't think this video is conclusive either way. I'm not sure it's the best unidentified flying object footage, but it certainly is intriguing. A YouTuber named Victor Poulin suspects that something is wrong with this plane, and I need your help to come to a reasonable conclusion. The plane looks completely normal until approximately 1 minute and 50 seconds into the video, when a bright red tint forms along the edges seen here. The changing color could be from the way the sun hits the aircraft, but that still doesn't explain how the plane seems to break up into multiple parts. Then again, maybe it's just his unsteady camera.
Now see how it almost looks like it changed shape? There's lights all in different places.
Victor Poulin is convinced that the plane is some kind of holograph, but I think it's pretty unlikely because I've never heard of anything like that before. Still, what do you think the real explanation is? Or do you think his assumption is correct? The International Space Station is a floating research base built by NASA that orbits around the world. This footage was taken from cameras on the outside, and it has led many people to believe that NASA accidentally live-streamed alien contact on television. Everything looks normal when all of a sudden, a small number of UFOs casually travel from right to left across the screen. Stranger still is how NASA suddenly cuts away to a wide shot of the mission control room when this happens. They later claimed that the UFOs were ice particles, but perhaps there is another explanation. May 17th, 2006 at 8:12 p.m., The Monterrey Witch of Mexico was caught on video flying just above the Mexican hills. She glides above the ground, just as you would imagine a witch to fly through the air, floating through the sky serenely. There's a good several yards between her and the hills below, with plenty of blue between. After the clear view of her dark shape against the skyline, her profile is shown as a white speck against the green hills as she skates across a canyon. The video goes on for a good 2 minutes, and it doesn't appear to be a hoax as the being traverses the cliffs. The figure is tall and cylindrical, flying across a very windy canyon, which makes some UFO researchers believe that it can't be normal. It must be paranormal. Diana Perla Chapa, a UFO group leader and researcher from Monterrey and a popular Mexican TV host and UFO investigator, confirms this. Experts say that there is no way something could move so steadily because it's a very windy canyon, she said, speaking at the Mutual UFO Network of Los Angeles conference. This video was reportedly taken by a Navy patrol boat off the coast of Chile in South America. What appears to be a gigantic, slow-moving UFO is soon confirmed by both the Navy and a nearby air traffic control tower to not be one of their own. I was thinking maybe this was an ordinary blimp or a helicopter, until it emits some kind of inky mystery substance at the 8-minute 18-second mark. The camera cuts away for a bit, and then approximately 5 seconds later you can see the substance has solidified into a thick, clumpy mass. As if that isn't weird enough, the UFO then detaches itself from the mass, which hangs completely suspended in midair, and keeps on going until it's no longer in sight. I have certainly never seen an aircraft do that before, and it doesn't look normal at all. If this is not edited, then I have little doubt that this visitor is from another planet entirely. Most videos of unidentified flying object sightings are out of focus or simply blinking lights. This one is the opposite of that. The video shows a saucer-shaped flying object sitting in an open field near forest and mountains. You can see at least one figure outside the vehicle standing to its left. A close-up shown later in the footage reveals that the creature is the quintessential Martian, overly large cranium, long thin limbs and all. After the Martian returns inside, a launching sound is heard. As the vehicle's engine revs up, in an instant the saucer shoots straight upward. The suddenness of the launch causes the person holding the camera to drop the shot downward before racing away on foot. What would you do if you encountered this at the edge of the forest? I just know I wouldn't be sticking around to find out. I don't want to go to Mars just yet. Most unidentified flying objects involve blinking lights. This one has no light, which perhaps adds to its mystery. Published by Burbex in June of 2021, this mysterious video captured a triangular-shaped unidentified flying object in the sky over Shanghai, China, which caused some speculation on the internet. The dark triangle was captured overhead in multiple videos, piercing through the clouds or smog as they shift past.
Oh, 这事情搞大了，
好吓太吓人。
好辛苦啊，越来越大了。
According to Burbex, some of this footage was filmed from the Panorama Hotel, and in the video, he is on a mission to solve the mystery. He heads to the hotel where an unusual number of police and security officers are gathered outside, but there reportedly was an alleged gas leak on the next street over. Burbex heads inside and up to the 27th floor where one of the videos was filmed. Looking over the bund, it's hard to imagine what could have projected that triangle into the sky. Burbex then talks with other Shanghaiers who spotted the mysterious, unidentified flying object. One of them shows the photo he captured on camera from below. He notes that the shape of the building is a triangle and there are lights on the top of the building.
这个就是那个对，哦，漂亮，
When the lights are cast upward and clouds are overhead, the lights bounce off of them, creating the triangular image in the sky. Although some might be disappointed that this isn't an unidentified flying object, for others, solving this mystery is incredibly satisfying. Captured on camera in Wiltshire in 1989 and shared by Redditor Dex Meets Dexter, this footage filmed by John Wabe shows two mysterious flying objects creating what appears to be crop circles. Crop circles form below the strange white objects. Watch again. Is this real? Are we seeing these mysterious extraterrestrial signals being formed before our very eyes? According to many in the comments, this video is a known hoax that was debunked years ago. This still doesn't stop some people from believing this is real though. I'm convinced it's a fake, but a pretty compelling one at that. If you were awoken by vibrations, what would you think was happening? Published by YB Normal in January of 2012, a hotel guest awoke to something reverberating throughout his room in Beijing and reported hearing spine-chilling sounds. Grabbing hold of his camera, he went to the window where he spotted three unidentified flying objects in the sky. The dark saucers can be seen in a triangular formation in the distance, while in the background you can hear the disturbing noise that must have woken him. It's one deep, long, vibrating note, like the sound of something hovering. The camera zooms in on the saucers before the video turns off unexpectedly. The uploader says the camera stopped functioning for no reason. Are these extraterrestrials simply observing us Earthlings? Or are they trying to scare us with sleep deprivation? Mysterious lights keep showing up outside this man's residence in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Eduardo Ferreira captured the intriguing recurring lights of potential unidentified flying objects, which he published in both August and November of 2021. The August footage shows a bright white light drifting in the night sky. A close-up shows that it appears to be multicolored and twinkling. The light then flies quickly across the skies, vibrant against the dark clouds above. It drifts overhead until the view is blocked by an adjacent building. The second video, filmed in November, shows a series of bright blue twinkling lights, the same size as the first. They float in front of another adjacent building, just drifting there, but not moving in any pattern or course, as the previous light did. So after seeing both clips, what do you think? To what do these lights belong? Is there a logical explanation? Or are these lights cause for extraterrestrial concern, given the fact that Edward has caught it twice on camera already? I doubt it will be the last time he sees this. This video, supposedly leaked by a former NASA employee while orbiting the Earth from space, apparently shows the fabled Black Knight satellite in action. According to theorists, the Black Knight satellite is actually thousands of years old and made by extraterrestrials, not humans. Many people believe that NASA is going to great lengths to cover up the existence of this foreign object, as well as whoever created it. The video itself looks pretty old, possibly from the 60s or 70s. The quality is grainy due to either aging or CGI effects. Based on what you've seen here, tell me if you think this is a real cover-up or just video editing.